Introduction to the Book of Zohar. Hello, everyone. Hello, Dr. Laitman. Hello. We're continuing in this series, Introduction to the Book of Zohar, and we'll read today the article called 2 Points. It begins with the beginning of wisdom is fear of the Lord. What is this beginning of wisdom? What are we talking about? And why is fear the beginning of wisdom, Dr. Laitman? I think the thing is when a person starts to have some kind of attitude to the Creator based on fear or awe, trepidation, that's the beginning of his wisdom. Host, what kind of wisdom are we talking about? Dr. Laitman, human wisdom. From this point onwards, he can develop into wisdom. So in order to develop into wisdom, we need fear before the Creator, trepidation. Yes. But we spoke in the previous episodes that the Creator is the upper force that's revealed in relation to people as quality of love and bestowal. So a person, in order to achieve a state connection with the Creator, needs to acquire the same qualities of trepidation, connection, bestowal, and then he can grow in this way. Host. So, as I understand, wisdom is how to be in the correct connection with the Creator. Yes, to perceive Him. And then the first step towards this wisdom, this connection with Him, is fear, right? Yes. Okay. Then we say about the Creator that He is great, He's concealed, and no thought can perceive Him whatsoever, and He created gates one top the other by which He made it possible to approach Him. What are these gates? Don't they actually push a person away? Dr. Laitman, no, the gates are the gates of attainment. We get closer to Him, the better we understand Him, the better we interact with Him. And that's why these gates are sharim, Hebrew, which open and a person enters the next one and the next one and then the next one, the next attainment of the Creator. Host, of course it's allegorical, but how do we open them? By getting closer to the Creator, these gates open up, and a person goes through them to the next state, in which he also needs to perform certain corrections on himself and by this, he causes the next gates to open up. Host. And then later on, at the end of this item, he says, at the end of these gates, he made a final gate with a lot of locks. And these gates are the first point to the upper wisdom. What are these last gates? Yes. So after the person performs all the necessary preliminary corrections, he comes to the gates where he starts to reveal the essence of his connection with the Creator. And then he starts to attain his nature, the nature of the Creator, and the connection between them. So, as I understand, here we need to say that there is a law of equivalence of form, right? Yes. And if the Creator, if we understand right from his description that he's the quality of bestowal, of unity, of everything in nature, so if we unite between us, then we acquire similar quality. And by this we open up these gates, right? Yes. By equivalence of form, yes. Is there any other opportunity in our world of this manifestation of this quality of bestowal in our world? There's no other means for it to be expressed. And Salam says it's important to understand what are the several locks. Know the meaning of locks, openings and holes. Know that they are the three forms that come one after the other over a single substance. What does this mean? When he goes through the right states, he reveals similarity with the Creator. He reveals new qualities in him, internal qualities, new knowledge, new desires, new opportunities, and in them he receives the quality of the Creator. Then it's interesting what he says after this. Then he says that the thought of creation is to delight his creatures, and no pleasure is perceived by the creature while he is separate from the Creator. So while he's separated, there's no chance of actually enjoying what he can give. And that the Creator craves to dwell in the lower ones. If the Creator craves to live in the lower ones, then what's the problem? Why can't we get fulfillment? Dr. Laitman, the problem is for the lower ones to acquire the same desires, the same qualities as the Creator. And then he can dwell in them. He can be present in them according to this law of equivalence of form. Host, on the other hand, yes, we do get pleasure, even if we are not in connection with the Creator. Dr. Laitman, that's not the kind of fulfillment that the Book of Zohar talks about. That's not what the Zohar means. There, it talks about the upper fulfillment, the upper pleasure, when you're connected with the whole world, with all of the creatures, all of the galaxies, if we can say so, with everything that exists, host. So it's a different level of quality of pleasure, right? Yes. So in our world, let's say we get pleasure from drinking coffee, or you control several million people from power. Is this the same kind of difference? Dr. Laitman, yes. And can we reveal a little bit about this pleasure? What is it from, Dr. Laitman? The pleasure is from the attainment of the inner system of the world, the extent to which everything is connected, completes everything else, and to the point of unity and perfection. Yes, so it is said that the biggest pleasure in the world is when contradictions are no more, and contradictions are solved. So how can we use contradictions to reveal the Creator and get this highest pleasure? Dr. Laitman, it's exactly through this revelation of this contradiction, and if a person wants to overcome them, these contradictions, then he gets closer to the state where he sees the general in all of this variety and all these contradictions, and this attainment of the unity or oneness. This is perfection, knowledge, greatness, attainment of unity. Host, I would like to talk about some specific example. He has some very bad misfortune in his life, and he sees that he can't believe that a good creator guides this world, and then he understands that it was actually for his good, and the creator had good intentions because this advances him. Yes. And then there's contradiction. Dr. Laitman. Yes, removing contradictions is a reason for attainment of perfection. And this, the more contradictions we have, then the bigger the pleasure is, yes. And a Kabbalist does a Kabbalist always live in these contradictions? Dr. Laitman, of course. So in the beginning, he doesn't justify the Creator. He has some huge contradictions in what happens, and then he sees that everything is for his advancement. Yes. Next, it is said that the force of separation is called locks that distance us from the Creator. What are these locks? What is this distance? Dr. Laitman, everything we don't attain for now, as the sum of our efforts, everything we don't yet attain as unity is expressed in all kinds of contradictions, contradicting qualities, mutual rejection, and so on. All this is revealed in us only for us to clarify, to understand this law of expression of the qualities, and so that we come to a state where we see everything as adding, everything is complementing everything else rather than contradictions. And then this will be revealed in the whole creation. Host, it's interesting, he says in the next item, he says about these 2 points, that's the name of the article, that the letter Bet, which is the letter that begins the Torah, and it has an upper line and lower line, and these are 2 points, one concealed and one hidden, and one disclosed. And because they are not separated, they are called first, Rishon, Rishit, as the first chapter is called Bereshit. And Dr. Laitman, there are 2 points from the beginning of creation, and they are connected from the beginning to the end, and the end goes in the beginning. Host, and what's the meaning of the upper line and lower line? The upper line is line of Keter, is the complete bestowal, and the lower one is complete reception, Malchut, and they're connected between them, and eventually they have to become similar in terms of their reception and bestowal. They need to become similar until everything becomes something like a circle. So these 2 points connect the upper and the lower. Dr. Laitman, the beginning and the end of creation, host. So the person needs to connect them, right? Inside of himself, yes. Next he writes, the upper point is called mercy, and the lower one is called judgment. Dr. Laitman, mercy is the quality of the Creator, the upper force, the bestowal, and the lower one is reception, Malchut. So between the upper line and the lower line, there there is connection. They can bring through themselves. So all of our work is about understand the lower line from the upper line and understand the upper line from the lower line and connect them in such a way that there is no contradiction, so that the quality of the upper line in the lower line would be, it would support the opposite quality in the opposite line, and in this way the whole program of creation would be fulfilled completely. Host, so judgments are some kind of limitations, right? Yes. So as we see in our world, we can't get pleasure all the time. We constantly have some suffering and so on. This is the quality of judgment. In the beginning, the created with judgment, and then he saw that he cannot exist just with the quality of judgment and associated it with the quality of mercy. Yes, and Dr. Laitman, and in this combination between these qualities of the quality of judgment and mercy, that's how the world exists. Host, so if we say in Kabbalistic language the quality of judgment is the quality of reception, the desire to receive, the world cannot exist only in the desire to receive. There is still some degree of bestowal, otherwise the world would fall apart. Even if people give to one another with the intention to get pleasure for themselves, still there is some connection. And we still see this in history, that humanity developed only due to cooperation. This is the main quality of that makes the world go round. Yes, that's right, Dr. Laitman says. Host, at the end of this article, he says that this is whole because he and his name are one. I will know my Creator who is one. Even through opposite qualities, unpleasant ones, bad ones seemingly, that's how unity of the Creator and His greatness are attained. Host, what does it mean? He and his name are one. He means the Creator, and his name is his expression, manifestation in all creations. Everything is the revelation of the Creator. Eventually, we attain that in everything that's in us, no matter how negative or opposite the qualities are, through them we attain the Creator. So his expression is love and bestowal, yes. So eventually, the whole humanity will, at every moment, in the past and the future, in all the states that humanity goes through, even in all the negative actions, there was expression of love. Dr. Laitman, only that's the only thing that exists, and the reason why we feel that it's not the case is because of our opposite qualities, host, and this will cause huge fulfillment in us, huge pleasure, right? Yes, thank you very much, and we'll see you soon.